So let us discuss about a new topic given in your ecosystem chapter, that is ecological succession. Now ecological succession means the gradual and fairly predictable changes that occurs in the species composition in a given area. So what happened in a particular habitat, a series of biotic communities, they try to adjust among themselves in that particular habitat and are replaced by other communities, and finally a stable communities will try to remain in that environment. Now generally a biotic community, also called as biota, it is the group of organisms that live together and they interact with each other within the environment, or you can say within the habitat. So one biotic community are replacing another biotic community, and as a result, there there will be a time when a particular biotic community will be stable in that environment. Okay, that is called as ecological succession. Like for instance, the first biotic community which came into this planet is the phytoplanktons and the zooplanktons. The phytoplanktons are actually from the plant kingdom, and the zooplanktons are the from the animal kingdoms that we know. So they were the first communities that try to interact in that particular habitat. Then they are replaced by other communities, and in this way it goes on, and finally stable community remain in that particular habitat. Now the first biotic community which develops in a barren area is called as pioneer community. So what does pioneer community means? It is the first biotic community which develops in a barren area. Barren area means where life does not exist before, right? Okay. And what is the final community which becomes stable in that environment? Well, the final community which remains stable in that particular environment is called as climax community. So climax community is the stable and final biotic community that develops at the end of biotic succession, and it is in perfect stable state. That means they will continue to remain in that environment. They have adjusted in that habitat. I have given an example of to show the biotic communities, to show the pioneer community and the what can I say, the climax community. You can see a bare rock, that rock where no life was existed. The rocks has some cracks where water can easily pass through it, and the first organisms, lichens, they grow in that area. Okay, just after the lichens, then small annual plants and lichens try to grow. Then they are replaced by some perennial herbs and grasses. These perennial herbs and grasses then replaced by other higher organisms of grasses, shrubs, and shade intolerant trees that will not provide you shade at least. And finally, they are replaced by the shade tolerant trees, which are the climax community. So in this way your ecological succession occurs in a particular habitat. Now different type of habitats are there. Desert habitat is there, water body habitat is there, a pond habitat is there, which I will show you with the help of example later on. Okay, so actually what happens, why these lichens are replaced by small annual plants, as because when the lichens die, their organic matter get accumulated in that area, which becomes favorable for the decomposers to grow, and then these organic matters are decomposed, are broken down to form inorganic matter, which is suitable for the other higher organism plants, higher order plants to grow in that area. So in this way they are replaced by favorable communities which can able to grow in that area. Let us move to the next page. So I have tried to discuss with you about here the what is pioneer community and climax community. Pioneer community is the first biotic community which develops in a barren area, as I have said, and this pioneer community consists of fewer smaller sized organisms, okay, which gets little in little nutrients are enough for them to survive in that area. Development of soil is observed in the pioneer community. Now in the pioneer community the soil development is being occurring, it has not been developed. Soil development is occurring in the pioneer community. So pioneer community survives in a harsh environment where soil development is occurring, it has not been occurred purely. And fourth, pioneer community can be replaced by the other seral communities. Other seral communities means other successive biotic communities which can replace this pioneer community if the conditions are favorable for the other communities to grow in that area. Then they are replaced by the other communities called as seral communities or the intermediate stages of communities. They are not permanent, they will be replaced by other communities, and finally a climax community will come which becomes stable in that particular region. Let us discuss now about the climax community. Climax community are those biotic community that develops in an area which is suitable for them to survive permanently. So in climax community they are those biotic communities that are growing in an area, that are surviving in an area suitable for them to survive, and it consists of large and small size organisms. So obviously there will be competition in the food chain, there will be competition in the available of nutrients, that which community will be growing and dominating in that habitat. Climax community grows perfectly built up of soil, that means the soil has been completely developed, and the climax community biotic communities, they are growing perfectly in that perfect soil. Climax community is the final community, it is not replaced by any other communities. So this was all about the climax community and the pioneer community. Now the intermediate communities are called as seral communities. Let us see what are seral communities. The seral communities can be stated as, what are sears or what are seral communities? The entire sequence of communities that successively changes in a given area is called as sears. So what are sears or seral communities? The entire sequence of communities that are successively change in a given area. That means one community is replaced by another community, another community is replaced by another community. Depending on suitable conditions for that particular community, they are getting replaced by the other communities. Now that is called as sears or seral communities. Seral communities are the intermediate communities, they are constantly changing. In successive seral stages, there is change in the diversity of species of organisms, increase in the number of species and organisms, as well as increase in the total biomass. So you will see when the seral communities are getting replaced by the other seral communities, you will see there will be change in the diversity of the species. Generally the diversity of the species will become more. Various type of living organisms will survive. There will be increase in the number of species as well as increase in the biomass as well. Increase in the number of species means obviously increase in the biomass in general term. For example, the series of developmental stages of biotic succession or ecological succession in a desert area is called xerosphere. So what does xerosphere means? The series of developmental stages of biotic succession in a arid zone or in a desert area is called xerosphere. So within the desert area, what are the type of changes in the biotic communities that are getting replaced by the another biotic communities, so that they can able to suitably live in that desert area, are called as xerosphere. And such type of ecological succession in that arid zone, in that desert area, is called as xerach succession. So we will discuss about this xerach succession later on. Let us try to discuss now. Okay, so this xerach succession, if I say, they are further of two types, lithosphere and zamosphere. If I move to the next page, you will see them. So xerosphere related to the ecological succession occur on the desert area is called xerosphere, and xerosphere is further of two types, lithosphere and zamosphere. Lithosphere means sequence of successional stages that occur on a bare rock is called lithosphere, and zamosphere means sequence of successional stages on sand is called zamosphere. Psamosphere. Okay, so let us discuss about this xerosphere little bit. We have to move to the pages, then only we can able to sorry for that. Okay, so let's move to see the xerach succession. Okay, so the ecological succession in xeric habitat, that means in desert habitat, what are the ecological succession that occurs? Now xerosphere or xerach succession begins on exposed parent rocks called lithosphere, or it may occur on dry sand which is known as zamosphere. And what are the stages that occur on a lithosphere? Let us see. Within the rock in a desert ecosystem, what type of ecological succession can occur? Let us see. The first type of organisms that try to grow in that lithosphere, in that rock area in desert zone, are the crustose lichen stage. Lichens are the simple plants. Crustose lichens are those lichens that form a crust which strongly adheres to the substrate. That means here the substrate are the rock surface where it is growing. So simple, they form a layer, a crust layer, maybe orange, or somehow they are greenish is also, they are also greenish in color also, and they form a layer around the rocks, right, which adheres to the substrate. Here the substrate is the rock layer, rock surface. So these are the pioneer stage, the first living organisms that are growing on a lithosphere, that are growing on a rock surface in the desert habitat, the crustose lichen stage. Then comes the foliose lichen stage, The foliose lichens are the simple plants which forms a symbiotic relationship with the fungi and photosynthetic partner, typically algae. So fungi and algae, they form a symbiotic relationship and try to grow in that area in place of that pioneer community. Okay, because now it has become favorable for the foliose lichen stage to grow now. Okay, then comes moss stage. Moss are the small non-vascular flowerless plants that fall under the taxonomic division Bryophyta. So these moss are little bit higher plants, which grow and replace that foliose lichens in place of moss in that rock area, in that lithocere area. Then the moss are replaced by the herbs. As the mosses die, their organic matter are decomposed by the decomposers, and they release the inorganic matter which are essential for the little bit higher other organisms, plant organisms to grow, like your herbs. The herbs are then replaced by the shrubs, and the shrubs are replaced by the forest stage, which depends on total organic matter, which depends on the inorganic nutrients availability of the soil, as well as it also depends on what? Nutrients, water. That leads to climax stage. After that, it will not be replaced by any other groups. Although if environmental damage occurs, then what happened? Then again the pioneer community will come into play due to human activities, disturbance of the forest land for cultivation, and after cultivation, when after certain period of time we leave that place and becomes a barren land. So in that area, once there was the climax community, but now it has been eliminated by human activities. So in that area again your pioneer community can come into play, and it will be replaced by the other communities, but at that case the time will be taken is very short. It will not take a huge number of years, okay, compared to the such barren lands which has not been, where life was not exist previously. So the pioneer plants, in case of xeric habitat or desert habitat, the pioneer plants are the lichens, are the mosses, and Selanginella. Selanginella is a type of spike moss having thorns which helps in soil formation. So they are contribution of the soil, because when they die they decay and their organic matter mix with the sand particles and helps in the soil formation. Then in course of time, the grasses, the annual plants which grows annually, and herbaceous plants vegetation grow on the soil deposited on the rocks. Okay, now this was in case of plants, but what about the animals in your xerosphere, especially the lithosphere, where the we are growing, where the successive organisms or biotic communities are replacing one after another in a rock surface in the desert habitat. So just like hydrosphere, as we will discuss later on, I will discuss you about the hydrosphere just after this. The lithosphere involves successive changes in animal life also. How? The pioneer communities were at that time were ants, mites, and spiders. So during the time of lichen stage, in the lithosphere, or in the xeric habitat, what were the animals that were growing at that time? Were small animals, insects like ants, mites, and spiders. Mites are fall under the category of arthropods. Now these animals are exposed to harsh environmental conditions, extreme temperatures, too high in the day and too low temperature in the night. Now, when the lichens were replaced by the mosses during successive biotic communities, during the moss stage, many new species of mites, ants, small spiders, tardigrades. Tardigrades are the micro animals which are also called as moss piglets, and springtails, a type of insect, will grow and invade that community. So during the moss stage, when the lichens are replaced by higher organisms, mosses, plants, then the animals that invade in that area are various type of mites, small spiders, tardigrades, and springtails. Now, during the herb stage is characterized by the nematodes, some mites, some collembola, which are small wingless arthropods, fall into the category of insects, these collembola. Ants and various insects larvae starts to invade during the herb stage. And as the stages grow, as more higher organisms grow during the shrub and forest stages, great qualitative and quantitative modifications occur among the animal species. Fauna means the types of animals which are living. Numerous kind of animals like salamanders, snails, millipedes, centipedes, ants, bugs, slugs, turtles, lizard, birds starts to invade and starts to live in that habitat. So you can see from your mites and spiders and ants, they are replaced, and finally when forest stage or the climax community comes, different type of diverse type of animal species are invading in that area. Okay, so this is about the xeric condition, especially lithosphere, that means in the rock surface of a desert habitat. Now let us discuss about the let us discuss about the hydrosphere. Okay, now hydrosphere or hydrach succession is a type of ecological succession in water, especially in pond water, you can say, or lake, in which a pond and its communities are getting converted into a land community. So in hydrosphere or hydrach succession, it is a type of ecological succession where the pond and its community are getting converted into what? Into land community. Okay. Now how they are getting converted into land community, that's a big process. We will see them one by one. Let us see. So let us see the pioneer community or the first biotic communities which are invading that water habitat, that pond, are the phytoplanktons, obviously, some blue green algae, for example, some green algae, diatoms, and bacteria. These are the first pioneer community that are living in that pond, in that water body. Now how they will be finally converted into a land community animals, let us see. These pioneer communities are consumed by the zooplanktons. Zooplanktons are zooplanktons are heterotrophs, that means they depend on phytoplanktons for their growth. Like for example, amoeba, the protozoans, all like for amoeba, paramecium, euglena. Okay, some species like blue gillfish, sunfish also consume these phytoplanktons. Okay, so the pioneer communities are consumed by the zooplanktons, like for example the protozoans such as amoeba, paramecium, euglena, some fish species like bluegill fish, sunfish. Okay, they also consume these phytoplanktons. Now gradually what happened, these organisms will die one day and increase the content of the dead organic matter in the pond. All the organic matter, when they are dying, they are all organic matter is settling in the pond, which will be further utilized by the bacteria and fungi. Okay, and thus the minerals will be released after decomposition. Okay, so these zooplanktons, all the zooplankton, some fish species, they will eventually they will die one day, and their organic matter getting deposited in the water body within the pond bed, and by the help of bacteria and fungi, they are utilizing this dead organic matter and releasing the minerals after decomposition. Next, what happened? Let us see. The nutrient rich mud. Now the mud in the pond bed, it is rich in nutrients, it is rich in minerals as decomposed by the as decomposed by the bacteria. Okay, so this nutrient rich mud then supports the growth of some higher plants like rooted hydrophytes like your hydrilla, Elodea, Vallisneria, Ceratophyllum in the shallow water zone. Now shallow water zones are the less depth water zone. In these shallow water zones, this type of plants are now starting to grow because of rich nutrient in the mud of the pond water, which has been further decomposed by the bacteria of the dead organic matters of the zooplanktons and the fishes. Okay, hydrophytes are actually those plants which are growing extremely on wet soil where water is available, like hydrilla, elodea, vallisneria. They are the hydrophytes, but they are rooted hydrophytes, they have roots. Okay, normally rooted hydrophytes have a floating leaves with roots that are generally fixed in the mud. So they are found in the wet soil area where the soil is saturated with waters. Now the submerged stage, that means those rooted hydrophytes, they are submerged in the water body. In that area also some animals are also getting invading in that area, like some insects like dragonflies, mayflies, crustaceans such as acellas, then gramaras, daphnia, cypes, cyclops. These are the different insects group that are invading in that submerged hydrophytes area. Okay, I have discussed about the crustacean. What are crustacean? Crustacean are the arthropod of the large, mainly aquatic group Crustacea, like your crab, lobster, shrimp, or what? Barnacle, Barnacle. So they are fall under the arthropod, okay, of the aquatic group of Crustacea. Arthropod are those animals, they are invertebrate, they don't have a vertebral column, and they have exoskeleton made up of a protein called chitin. Okay, not protein, they are carbohydrate called chitin. Now these hydrophytes as we are talking about, where different type of insects, certain crustacean species are growing. These hydrophytes then die, and then they are again decomposed. They are again decomposed by microorganism, thus releasing more nutrients. In addition to this, due to silting, that is formation of silt is occurring. Silt are the sediments of fine clay and sand particles which also contain the decomposed matter, and mainly these sand particles, fine clay, are deposited by the action of water. So due to silting, the water depth of the pond slowly is reduced. So you can see that the water body is now converting into a wet marshy land area where higher order organisms will start to invade and replace that community, these previous communities. So due to silting, the water depth of the pond is reduced, and then what happened? The margin of the ponds grow the rooted floating vegetation. So some rooted plants will start to grow, whose leaves reach to the water surface and roots remain fixed permanently in the mud. Plants such as, what type of plants that will grow? Neolumbo nucifera, which is actually the lotus plant, Trapa, the water chestnut, Monocoria. Monocoria is an aquatic plant related with the water hyacinth family. They are growing in this silting condition. Due to silting, what happened? Deposition of the fine clay and particles get deposited to the water surface, the bottom of the water body, and thus the pond is getting reduced, and at the margins of the pond rooted floating plants grow. Okay, the faunal living space, that means the living space of the animals, also become increased and diversified, means more number of animals starts to invade in that area. Let us move to the next page. What type of animals are forming? Hydras, frogs, salamanders, snails, diving beetles, and host of new insects. Now they are utilizing the under surface of this silt area. Sometimes turtles and snakes also invade the pond if the pond was large enough. Now gradually the depth of the water body in the pond become decreases due to evaporation activities also by the sun, and most of the water is utilized by these rooted hydrophytes for their growth, and deposition of the organic matter and concentration of the nutrient get increased day by day. Then what happened? Due to this reason, as more water is getting evaporated, used up by the hydrophytic organisms, the rooted hydrophytes, and more organic matter is available in that particular area because death of that rooted hydrophytes occur, and this deposition of the dead organic matter occurs, and utilization of that organic matter in order to release nutrients increases. So by the time some free floating plants like Azolla, Lemna, Pistia, Ulfia, Spirodela increase in number because of high nutrient availability. Gradually, these dead plants fill the pond. These plants also get died and their organic matter fill up the pond, resulting in further build up of the substratum. That means more layer after layer as sediments occur, just like that the organic matter are getting under one another in a form of layers, which are decomposed by the detrivores, by the decomposers. Now at this stage the pond becomes swampy, it becomes a marshy areas which is just flooded with water. The reed swamp species scarp, like Scirpus or bulrushes, typha or cattail, reed grasses like phragmites, and sages like Cyperus, carex, juncus, they try to invade the pond. So more higher order organisms, plants are invading that area, and they are replacing by mesic communities, which are the communities that live on a mesic habitat. Mesic habitat are those habitat that are growing on such a swampy areas where moderate moisture is available, like your trees, your hardwood trees, right? So these mesic communities are now invading this habitat when the water level is to become too much low, becomes a swampy area. Now the pond now no longer remains a pond, now it becomes a marshy area. Then the mesic community starts to grow that on that mesic habitat, because now it is becoming a mesic habitat which has a well balanced supply of moisture, not flooded with not flooded with water. And the trees, hardwood trees starts to grow like populus, also called as bubble tree, almus, shrubs such as salix and cornus invade that area, and thus ending up the climax community in the form of deciduous forest. So this is the case that how your from the phytoplanktons, how they are ending up with your deciduous forest and becomes a climax community, that is your hydrarch succession, the ecological succession that occurs in a water body, especially in the pond, where you can see I have given a revision here. You can go for this, just write it down in your copy. I will also provide you the notes. Okay, so these are the two examples of ecological succession. Let us move to the previous part. I think my video lecture will be ended up here. I have to go for another video lecture. Okay, so what are the causes of ecological succession? Let us talk about a bit. The causes of ecological succession are: the first cause is initial or initiating cause. What are the initiating cause? It can be a climatic condition as well as biotic in nature. Climatic conditions like erosion, deposition, wind, fire, which are caused by lightning, by volcanic activity, okay, by earthquakes. And the biotic cause are actually due to the activities of human beings and certain grazing animals. Biotic activities include various activities of organisms. All of these factors produce barren areas or destroy the existing population in that area. So, the first cause is your climatic cause or biotic cause. Climatic cause, extreme harsh climatic condition can destroy a particular ecosystem and makes a barren land due to lightning activities, due to volcanic eruptions. You know what happens during volcanic eruptions. All the lavas will destroy the whole ecosystem, and it will take about 1,000 years to make that ecosystem return to its original form, maybe more than 1,000 years. The biotic cause are done by the human activities, by the grazing animals, which are converting the a diversified area into a barren land. Okay, that destroy the existing population there. Second cause is SSEs or continuing cause. What is SSEs? SSEs is the process by which a new plant or animal become established in a new habitat by growing, germinating and reproducing successively, while the others fail to become established in that new environment. So SSEs is another cause. So a particular plant or animal become established in that habitat and they are germinating and growing and reproducing. The others are becoming failure to grow in that habitat. That is called SSEs. And these occur due to migration activities, SSEs, aggregation, competition, reaction, which causes ecological succession. And as a result of these changes, chiefly the soil features of the area. So, as we have seen in the xeric habitat in the hydrosphere, we have seen that the organisms grow and they are replacing by the other communities. So there is a bit of competition available of the land, available of the nutrients going on that are successively replacing by the other communities which are more suitably adjust in that surroundings. So this is the second cause, and how it is occurring as a result of migration activities, as a result of aggregation, then competition and reaction. Now reaction generally occurs, you will see when I will talk you about the main structures of ecological succession. Now what happened when the organisms was growing in that area, they are getting died and their organic matter are utilized by the decomposers to release the inorganic forms which become rich in nutrients, and that is the main reaction which leads to the other organisms to occupy in that site. Well, the last cause of this ecological succession is your stabilizing cause. What does stabilizing cause is? It includes the factors like climate of the area which results in the stabilization of the community. If the climate of the area is stable, then only your particular community will try to establish in the form of climax community in that area. Okay, in the next video I will try to discuss with you about the basic types of ecological succession, the primary succession, the secondary succession, then another type of succession is there retrogressive succession, and some models of the succession I will discuss with you.